react to government's efforts so far in curbing these insurgents, curbing the excesses of these insurgents? We know that funding is a major factor here, and the bulk of the funding, some would say, comes from the people, the government. Taxes are placed on some communities. Government pays ransom. The people are compelled to pay ransom as well. And these monies go into funding terrorist activities. In fact, there are some countries, some companies that have been accused of funding terrorist activities in other places. But these companies do business here in Nigeria. Should the government be looking at these companies as well to see if their activities in Nigeria is also funding terrorist activities? I mean, it's a broad question. So, how do you react?
The reason why this thing has vested is because government has been very lackadaisical about this issue. I am telling you, if government have done the needful, Moses, this thing would have been past us. The federal government of Nigeria, with our military, they have deliberately pampered these terrorists. Pampered. I mean, look at the audacity, look at the arrogance with which these guys operate. Yeah? In a governed space where you have government presence, all the arms of government operate yet. And so, I wouldn't blame them, I mean the terrorists or the bandits or whoever, because they know that nobody will challenge them. They know. Seriously, they know. And it worries me. Because it may get to a point where the people would, like the people in Imo State are saying now that they want to defend themselves. Mostly, what do you think will happen if these guys carry out their threats? Then you now see the military. The military will now come out to start shooting them, calling them terrorists. Meanwhile, the real terrorists have been killing them over the years. Nobody said anything. So when you look at all this, you ask yourself, what is the interest of federal government in this matter? Why would they behave as if they don't know what's going on? The very thing they're supposed to do to protect life and property, they are not doing it. They are waiting until the people now take laws into their hand. Then you see them all over the place. It's unfortunate, seriously.
Quite unfortunate. Now, are you impressed? Are you enthused by the fact that, well, the U.S., in collaboration with Nigerian military, according to reports we have, admitted about 170-something ISIS terrorists in Nigeria. So how much difference does that make, at the beginning of this grand operation? Because we see now that it looks like there's grand operations against them, not just targeting one person. And so if you see 161 of them, how much do you think that is going to? I mean, as a take-off point now in the war on terror, are you impressed? And do you expect to see more of this?
I am not impressed.
Why?
Because it cannot solve the problem. The thing is that when you kill one, they even boasted the other time. One of them came out and boasted that when you kill 10 of them, that 20 will come in, 20 will replace them. They made it because they put statement. So why do you think that over the years, what we are hearing, they kill the 200, they kill the 50, they kill the 100? Yes, these guys are multiplying every day. It means that we have not gotten to the root cause of the problem. Cut off the lifeline. That is the only thing. Cut off the lifeline. That is the only way to solve this problem, because something is giving them the impetus to do what they are doing. When you secure that lifeline, this thing will die naturally. But the government of Nigeria are not doing the needful.
How easy is it to cut off the lifeline, especially when they have both local and international supervisors? We see people in government tell us, well, I mean, Jonathan at some point said, I have their sympathizers in my cabinet. We hear the governor of Borno State, Mama Babagana, say, people in government are behind it. I said earlier, I said the same thing. Nasarawa State governor said politicians are the ones behind it. So even if we cut off the external supply, how about the internal? How easy is it to do all of that?
That means it boils down to what I said, that the federal government of Nigeria is backfiring them. With all these things you said now, it's so pure that somebody in government is behind what is going on. And the federal government cannot claim that they don't know. They know very well. Then start from somewhere. When you want to solve a problem, you start from somewhere. You don't just go into the problem in one fell swoop. No. Start taking out the low-hanging fruits. Start picking the sponsors, whichever way you identify them and all that. By the time you succeed in cutting off the internal enemy, the external enemy will not have power, because it is the internal enemy that brought the external enemy. That's just the way I look at it. So the federal government of Nigeria, no matter what they try to do or say, they are solidly behind what is going on. And I want them to deny it. They will bring that back.
All right, then let's go to Benin, to our studio in Benin, where we have Comrade Emmanuel Agbogu joining the conversation. Good morning to you. But you might need to unmute your device so we can get your audio feed. Well, let's ensure that we have connected to Benin before we go over to you. But let's bring this back to the studio here. Barrister, should we be considering softening the laws that guide ownership of land? Because it's getting to the point where Nigerians are clamoring to be allowed to defend themselves. These terrorists, these insurgents, terrorists, they come with sophisticated weapons, and Nigerians are left with batons and clubs and machetes. Should we soften the laws of ownership of guns? Will that create some sort of pushback? Will that scare these insurgents when they think about what might happen when they attack?
I will not advocate for everybody to carry arms now. In the first place, we are not successful. By experience, everybody saw what happened immediately after the war. Some soldiers who left the war front came back with their gun and they started stopping everybody. That was why the firearm tribunal was established, and people were being shot in their community for armed robbery. These are experiences we had, and so we wouldn't want to go back there. What I'm saying is that we should now pressurize the government, federal government of Nigeria. Please do the needful. That is why you are the federal government. Do the needful. It is you that you refuse to carry out your responsibility. That's why this has first started. For example, up to today, I have not seen the president make a very strong statement to these guys, warning them like Donald Trump would have done in America. In fact, he will not even want you. He will not want you. You will go after you. So why is it a different kettle of fish here? If everybody carry gun, do you think you will be here?
Now, if everybody carries gun, Moses and I might not be here.
You will be the way for you.
The problem here is anytime we hear the federal government up arms, in communities, the perpetrators like headers, the actual raiders and headers and all of that, we don't see the federal government arm them. And our own national security advisor tells us, well, some of the military equipment, some of the equipment that you find in the hands of these terrorists belong to Nigeria. And so, if you say that it shouldn't be more like liberalized so that people can carry arms to defend themselves, yet the federal government is unable to disarm the terrorists. How does that help the situation?
That is why I am calling on them. That's why I'm calling them out. Okay. All the examples given here point to the federal government of Nigeria. From Buhari to at least this thing became too bad under their watch. From Buhari to this is escalated beyond the comparison. If they have done the needful,
now that they have not done the needful, you are not the only person. A lot of people have, called on them to disarm these people, but they are not. And so, should Nigerians just allow themselves to be killed?
No, let us give them one time, because so that tomorrow nobody will blame the people. I was telling Gowan yesterday when we were looking to do that. All those things we are saying, under your watch, what things has happened that caused war? What thing that happened? But this thing that is going on today is what caused exactly the civil war. You were not able to raise people who were killing people in the north. That was the major reason. That was the major reason. And the same thing has continued even in this present time, and yet you are not saying anything. That was exactly what caused the war. The mass murder of people in the north. That's why the people said, please, let us go to a safer place. And now, in this 21st century, what things are going on? This time around, they have surrounded the whole country. And you and I know the people behind it. Yes, nobody is calling them out. That's even the most provocative. Provocative. So are you waiting until the people say, they are 10 souls, enough is enough? Is that when you are going to react? The federal government have the fact that we have been patient enough. We have been patient enough. They should do something. I mean, look at the brazenness of these people. Moses, please, if you were to see your brother or your wife being cut off, that is the head being cut off by people, will you be the same again? That's watching them demonstrating how they cut off a teacher's head. Will you be the same? That picture will be your head, even forever. And the people that did that, they don't even care. With boldness, with arrogance. And the federal government is just there, making statements. The people that are being killed, they are human beings for God's sake. They belong to families. If that is not provocative enough, tell me what is provocative. Tell me what is provocative. So the federal government has the responsibility. Whether they like it or not, the responsibility is on their own. They should stop running away from their responsibility and be talking of politics. That is not the truth.
We've been calling for more personnel, more soldiers, more police officers. The government, this Tinubu administration, is seriously looking into state policing and making sure that comes into force. And we heard Gani Adams speaking also on the issue of insecurity, especially how it's creeping fast into the southwest. And we have Amotekun, in the forest. They are supposed to be guarding the forest. How would you rate the activities of Amotekun and in the southeast, Agunecheba, and the call for state policing? How would you rate all of this? First, the activities of the paramilitary that we have on ground, and then the government's desire for state policing. That is some problem.
These people have not been given a free hand government. That is why they did not give them the required act. That's not the truth. Amotekun, for all I care, what they gave them is Chakabula. They didn't have what it takes to confront these terrorists. Even the foreign strangers, when they started recruiting and I said, please, don't send these children to this young boy to suicide mission. If the military cannot contest them, then who else will? So these other people you mentioned here now, they have not been allowed to operate. Meanwhile, these terrorists are operating freely. Freely. And you now ask yourself, why should you now tell terrorists to be operating with guns, sophisticated guns all over the place? Then you don't want the people to defend themselves. Are you not calling for anarchy? Or don't you think that this thing will get to your head where everybody will say who is red? Is that when you will now react? Seriously, I am disappointed by the Southwest because they have a model and the native way of doing things. The only cause for it the other day that they should look for their native intelligence. And I don't know if they are wasting time. You pursue the black sheep in the daytime, not in the night time. Why should they leave their Sahel region and enter Nigeria all the way down here to come and work? Killing people, raping women, kidnapping people. I mean, what can be more provocative? That's what I'm asking. You mean if something happens tomorrow, the federal government or whoever will come and be making noise that you shouldn't have two wrongs that don't make a right? Really? Two wrongs that don't make a right when they are killing my family, my people. But you cannot call them and say, come, what is wrong with you people? If we do not know them, we say, okay, we don't know who to call out. We don't know who to blame. But you and I know. You have seen them. Their leaders are even validating what they are doing. From Shegumi to that Murik man. What they are saying is not to provocate you, to prove, to set you to anger. But yet, nobody is calling them out. Why? That is the question you should be asking.
Well, that's what we're doing, right? We're calling them out.
Nobody paying attention. They are not paying attention. I'm just saying
attention.
They are not paying attention. It's not about politics.
Yes, so that's the thing. I think, is there some sort of information that is available to government officials? Because the president, the Senate president said all of this is politics. And 2 weeks into, or 2 weeks after the elections, all of this will die down. Is there some information that they are privy to, that the rest of Nigerians are not privy to, that really points to the fact that it's all political?
I don't think so. They are trying to divert your attention. They are trying to divert attention from the problem. Because one, the president promised us when he was campaigning that he will stop all this. That treaty, he said it. He said it. So why are we not calling it job? Please, the thing you promised us, where are they? For you to even go for second term. What is the guarantee that things will get better when you go for second term? Unfortunately, I strongly believe that Nigerians have been hypnotized. If not, we should be asking questions, serious questions.
Nigerians are asking questions.
My boss is
asking you
when they were asking questions under Jonathan, we saw what they did, we saw their reaction. At least I told Jonathan. They almost pushed that man out of office. Because of what? Well, something.
These are Nigerians are not asking the questions, so government is not doing the needful.
You say what?
You say that Nigerians are not asking the questions of government not doing the needful.
Both of them. Nigerians are not asking the question they're supposed to ask. Even government doing the needful. Because if you check on Islamization, it's not about politics. Primary election. Those who we are seeing that, those who we are not seeing that. All those shenanigans. Meanwhile, people are dying.
We are here discussing it now. I want us to return to the issue of state police. Now, you said that when they were trying to recruit the forest rangers, you warned them.
Exactly.
Don't lead these young men into the forest if you don't arm them. Now, I want us to talk about the issue of state police. A lot of governors are saying, well, we are not in control of security in our state. So, if we have the state police, now, if we have the state police, how much of that can help solve the problem? Especially given your position that even the military, cannot effectively tackle insecurity. How much effort do you think that the Nigerian police, as presently constituted, or maybe when we devolve them to the state level, how much can they help in fighting terror?
They cannot. Given the present condition of things, don't deceive yourself. The police at this time cannot do anything. Because these terrorists that are even controlling the government, they won't allow it. And so government himself is not even willing to implement it. They just say it for political reasons. How many years will you take them to do this? From Buhari, we have been handling the police. Yet nothing has happened. To make matters worse, they handed it over to the IT, Inspector General of Police. Is he the one to start proposing the law and all that? This is something that has to do with the National Assembly. They are the one to spell out the modality, the template and all that. But the president, for you to know that he's not ready to do it, he handed it to the IT issue. And the man is telling us that he's going to be ready in 60 months. That you are looking at 5 years. That's not what's going on here. This is a matter for the National Assembly. The same way they promulgated the law, changing the national anthem overnight, under 24 hours. Why can't you say, okay, you National Assembly, look at the law. Look at the law to implement the police. They have not done that.
Mr. Darlington, let's be realistic.
Yes.
You think the law to empower state policing can be something that can be done overnight?
Start from somewhere. This other one you did overnight. Did you invite anybody to continue?
I mean, that's just taking one anthem, replacing it with one that already existed. We're talking about a system that doesn't even exist.
Okay.
Yes, and we're trying to we are trying to birth it.
I mean, look, except a serious action or a serious matter is deserve a serious solution. You have a problem on your hand and you want to solve it. Do you need 20 years to think of what to do?
Well, the president has asked the IGP to fast track the process.
He cannot. But please, from the law that I know, the IGP is not the person to do this thing.
He's trying to put down.
Not the one, please. It's not the one. The National Assembly, that's their purview. It's the law that will guide the state. Somebody has to take that law, not the IGP. Not the IGP.
Probably what they're trying to do is get the operational modalities on ground, then go to the National Assembly and amend the policy.
They have committees in National Assembly. There is a committee of police. There are things that is reserved for the National Assembly. This is not a police matter. That's what I'm saying. And look at what the man told us. That if you take him 60 months, they are looking at 5 years.
Exactly what I'm saying. The president has asked him in the light of correct happening, you need to fast track. Use it if you can, as much as you can.
I don't think he's the right person. I've said it here. And I'm standing on that word. He cannot do it. He cannot. Because by the time I said National Assembly committee, the National Assembly gave the matter to them. Because there must be a bill. There must be a bill that will be approved into law for the thing to start working. Why do you think that the financial autonomy of local government is not working? Why do you think so? Because there is a law in the constitution that is guiding it. It has not been amended. And the state governments are still holding on to it. It's just for mere words. There is no way you can operate without the law guiding what you are doing. It's not possible. You cannot go far.
All right.
That's what I'm saying here. That thing is just the IGP. It's just for politics. He's not ready to do it.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll be joined by Comrade Emmanuel Agbogu and
you have just seen it. You see, the reason I present them is for you to understand the situation in the contraption called Nigeria. You know, when we come on social media, we speak for hours without presenting this issue from their own conventional media. Some of you will think that we make up statements, more especially those who are not from Nigeria, will not understand how serious the situation is. But when we bring you information from their own media, when we bring it from their own media, it will become much more clearer. I have played several interesting videos today. And when you listen to what is happening and the way they're speaking, you will know that Nigeria is hopeless. Anyone that thinks that is something you will do to change Nigeria, you're wasting your time. The situation of the Zoological Republic is irredeemable. Take it to the bank. Nothing is going to redeem the zoo. Nothing. Absolutely not. There is nothing you can do to save the zoo. The only solution remains disintegration. To your tent, O Israel. Allow people that want to have their caliphate to have their caliphate. Then allow the people that want to be in a secular system to be in a secular system. As simple as that. The world should listen. United States of America should do the needful. You don't need to beg anybody. You don't need to bring your troop, but you don't need to bomb anybody. We need a statement. A statement. Separate this country. Let every region go back to who they were before amalgamation. Let every region go back to who they were. That is the ultimate solution. Peaceful disintegration. Conduct a referendum. Let people choose where they want to be. And I bet you the insecurity will die a natural death. You can imagine how Nigeria have gotten that people no longer have sympathy. Human beings no longer sympathize with each other. You saw the video I played, what somebody wrote on Twitter. Somebody wrote on Twitter that they prefer to continue to die in the hand of the Fulanis than for an Igbo man to become a leader. He went ahead to describe the beheading of a Yoruba teacher as ordinary ordinary beheading. That is how a human being that have conscience and have breath addressed a fellow human being loss of life, loss of innocent life. A man who is giving knowledge to the youth, a man building the leaders of tomorrow, was murdered in cold blood. He did not have an outrage. The country did not go angry. The worst is that they are conducting prayers. The police that were supposed to go after the terrorists are conducting prayers, joining prayers, calling for prayers. Those who are supposed to protest, instead of protesting, they are calling for prayers. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. And if you think it is going to get better anytime soon, it is not going to get better. It is going to be worse than what you are saying. Nigeria is not one, has never been one, and will never be one. The earlier you understand this, the better for every one of us. So wherever you are watching this program from, more especially those of us that are Biafrans, tighten your belt and prepare for what is coming. Don't wait until it begins to happen in Igbo land like it's happening in Yoruba land today before you prepare yourself. Don't wait until it begins to happen in Biafra land before you prepare yourself. They are there already, waiting. You must prepare yourself. We have preached self-defense when we are supposed to preach it. Every single one of us have been educated about self-defense. It is because of the message of self-defense that Nnamdi Kanu today is detained. That is why Samuel is detained. But in Nigeria, they are preaching that same message today in the open, in their national TV. So, my brothers and sisters, nobody is going to tell you anything apart from what you have heard in the past. There is nothing new that I will tell you apart from what Nnamdi Kanu have told us and what Samuel have told us. Everything we are doing is revision, reminding you of the instructions that we're given so that you don't lose your guard. They have come. This is not they are coming, they have come. And I bet you they are ready to crush everything on their path. If you do not defend yourself, nobody is going to defend you. Today, you see what is happening in Yoruba land. Even though they have the president on their side, they have president, yet helpless. The terrorists are so bold that they will behead a man and send the video while they are still holding others captive. And upon it, they are demanding ransom. This is unbelievable. And if you think it's going to get better, sorry to disappoint you. All you have to do is to prepare on how you're going to defend yourself. Prepare. Think of how you're going to protect yourself from these monsters. Because they're not going to leave anytime soon. If anybody deceiving you, they are not leaving anytime soon. That is why you must tighten up your belt. My wonderful people of Biafra. The atrocities you are seeing today is the creation of the British and the government of Gabon. The creation of the British and the government of Gabon. This thing you are seeing today was the reason the young officers went for revolution. Chukwu Makaduna Nzogbu led the revolution because of what you are seeing today. And he was misunderstood, and they called it Igbo War, Igbo coup. Today, look at where we are. Never again. Never again. As we are headed into the 30th May Remembrance Day, say never again. Prepare yourself. These monsters can attack at any minute of time. This is a very significant month, and we must do the needful. I appreciate every one of you that have been with us on this program today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your participation and your cooperation. Like the program, share it if you have not shared. Information is power. The only thing you can do for me on this platform is to share. When you share, you play your own role. My own role is to broadcast and speak on daily basis. Once, twice, 3 times if I can. Like it and share the program to go viral. Thank you so much for watching. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect every one of you. And may